Hello and welcome to Autobidder. If you're on this page, that means you're viewing our advanced step-by-step setup system. This is going to assume that you've never used Autobidder before, you are not familiar with it whatsoever, but you're interested in it and you want to learn how can I get this set up on my site and just test it out. You don't have to pay any money to go through this entire process. Pretty much every step of this you can set up on the free version. Now there are going to be a few steps later on that are paid, but they're not required. So let's go ahead and dive in. First, I just want to cover briefly what you're going to cover, and then you'll have each of these steps where you can learn more about specific things within Autobidder. Odds are you're going to understand most of it intuitively if you've used any kind of software before, like a CRM. If you're like me, you'll dig through it, you'll click on different links, play around with it, and you'll learn how it works fairly quickly. But there are some things that trip a lot of people up, and I want to really cover those and have this whole library available for any of those that may run into for you. So getting started, these are the core pages we're going to be looking over this setup guide. Now, Autobidder has a lot of additional things that, like I said, you'll discover it as you play around with it, but a lot of it's not really necessary. It's just there to help improve the tool for those of you who actually start using it. So the pages we're going to cover here are the calculator library, the formula builder, that's like the bread and butter, the logic and settings, that's kind of also the bread and butter, the design, which is very important if you're using it on a website, the calendar system, and then the live preview. Okay, so a few things you could do to have these handy if you're getting started is have your business logo, have your primary brand kind of dialed in, your color scheme and everything. Ideally, if you have a website or Facebook, you're already good on this, right? Because you already have some branding to work with. Recent invoices are nice for testing purposes. Once you get to the end, you're going to want to look through, if you've been in whatever industry you're in, if you've been in it for a while, odds are you have, some past jobs that you can reference, and what you're going to do is compare and see how you line up. And a Google account, if you want to use Google Calendar, and then access to your website's HTML. This is only if you want to embed it on a site. Most website editors give you this. If not, you can usually send it to your website guy, whoever manages your site, and he'll take care of that for you. All right. So let's start by creating an account. We're going to go to your email address, whichever one you use for your business. This is where you're going to receive any leads that come through the system. You can also sign up with Google if you prefer. Then here we're going to ask for your business name, your industry, and these are our core industries we have available, but if none of these fit, you can just click other. This isn't really that important to start. This is just going to pre-fill your account with some templates that you can get started with. And you're going to enter your city. This is useful for the directory. If you set that up, it's a huge benefit to Autobidder. And once you've done that, you will land on the dashboard page. Now we have this onboarding setup flow. You can go through it or you can cancel it out. This is just going to help you get started, some basic details. This is just a starting point. You're going to want to definitely edit this a lot more. You can see it's going to ask you basic rates for vinyl siding, brick. Again, this is just to get you started. You don't even have to do it. This is not going to be your final pricing. So my point is, don't stress it too much. Okay. Then it's going to have you choose an icon style and a preferred color. Again, all of this can be changed. This is not locking you in by any means. This is just to get you started. It's much better to start with a template or something to work with than a blank screen. Blank screens, especially with software like this, can be very complicated or intimidating. So now we're going to generate the setup. And once you've got to this stage, you can go ahead and try out the calculator. And that is going to have pre-filled, and I'll show you once this loads in, you'll see. Okay, so it customized some of the icons here. Some of them, it looks like I have roof cleaning saved in there twice. But it preloaded in a few templates. So I'll just try house washing simple. And you can test this out yourself. You can test out the measure map that's built into it. Enter an address. We'll get into all of this in much more detail. This is just giving you an intro because you're probably a bit confused at the start, right? I mean, that's usually how it goes with new software. We'll skip the lead, and then you can see a price. So this just gives you a great starting point, because in your mind, mentally, now you can say, okay, I've got a 2-story house, 1,500 square feet, vinyl siding. You've probably done enough jobs, assuming you're not brand new, where you can visualize this pretty well, and you probably have a price that pops in automatically. It may go up for certain factors, may go down for other factors, but you have something to work with. So this price, maybe in your mind, based on those factors, it's way too high, way too low. or it's up just right. Maybe it's a little high, a little low. Gives you something to work with. It's easier to go in and start with that. And then you see I've got, in this example, we've got gutter brightening turned on as an upsell. So you may say, okay, another thing too, maybe that's way too low, maybe it's too high. It just gives you something to work with, all right? So that was an intro, how to get started. Now, at this point, you're probably curious, how do I change that price? How do I change that upsell? How do I add discounts? How do I include sales tax? That's where the rest of this setup guide is going to come in handy. So continue scrolling down. Whatever part you have questions about, go to that section. There's also knowledge-based articles available for almost every part of this. And on most of the pages, let's just go over to the logic page briefly to show you this. They're going to have this little question mark icon at the top. You click that and it's going to give you a specific video for whatever page you're viewing at that time. In this case, the logic page. And this is going to be updated. Some of the videos may be a bit outdated because updates are being pushed pretty regularly. So just keep looking through that, watch this, and you will know basically 99% of what there is to know if you just complete the setup guide. See you in the next one.